No, that is not white noise. That is the Dawsonville pool room siren still singing.
We can hear it all the way in Concord.
All the way from Dawsonville to here in Concord in the monsoon that we're sitting in. Welcome to Sunday Money. An awesome chase from the same place is a NASCAR champion, guys. Who'd have thought?
I have a song for you too.
What?
It's it, guys. It's over. It's over. No more Sunday Money. No more NASCAR. It's time for Happy New Year. We're going to do it again. It's all
We're going to have
done.
to take this podcast down for all of the copyright.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're going to
pull
try
that down.
again
You can only do 10 seconds. Pull it down.
What's that?
You can only send, I think, 10 seconds of
yeah, we're gonna get
song.
copyrighted.
No, that song's old as the church. That's an old one. That's old. Did you guys sing that song, or
no.
you don't do that New Year stuff?
That's weird.
Yeah. It always reminds me of the Sex and the City movie where they play that after Harry goes over and.
I love that movie.
Our listeners listen
Corey,
to Sex
we're
and
seeing a lot
Sex
of this.
City.
The reason I said Happy New Year is because everybody is saying like it's over, but we've never been done with NASCAR November 12th before.
Yeah, this is early.
I thought it was the week after, right? It's usually next week is when the Homestead is.
And I prefer that because I had to come back and actually work this week.
Yeah. Because usually it's go right into Thanksgiving.
Right into Thanksgiving. You get a break.
And then the whole time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you just kind of mail it anyways. So we have a couple weeks before Thanksgiving to decompress a bit.
Yeah, I need to clean my house before people come over.
Well, Daryl, you were joining us in Phoenix this weekend. Lauren was as well. The whole crew was out there.
The whole crew was there.
It just something felt odd flying out west for the last race of the year. It felt a little bit odd because you're just used to flying down there and seeing those teal walls at Homestead Miami Speedway, and you knew like this is it. This is the last one. But we fly to Phoenix, and side note, the track and all the decorations and all the stuff that the billboards they put up looked killer.
Yeah, I feel like the city really did embrace.
They really embraced the championship race. Unfortunately, COVID put a big stick in their pie, unfortunately, but they still embrace.
Daryl.
We're going to have Alexis
I just want to start over. I just want a new year. I don't want to talk about the championship. Let's just move on to better things.
No.
Nobody cares about better things.
No.
Daryl. That's
right.
The only people that are listening to this, they care about.
The better thing is Chase Elliott is a NASCAR Cup champion. That's what the better thing is.
That was last year, Corey. That was 2020. We're starting January. This is January.
We're still in 2020. And
okay,
I don't know if you know, we talk about racing.
Airport.
This is our job.
It said, "Welcome to the championship." You're correct. Mm-hmm. I saw it at the baggage claimant at my hotel. Yep. I don't know where else you saw it.
Everywhere. At the racetrack.
They had it on the traffic signs on the interstate.
Yep. They had like the cool smoke.
Highway, or this is not a racetrack.
Yeah, they had like cool smoke. They had smoke machines.
There was billboards that had Denny Hamlin's face on it, and it had smoke coming out of it.
Oh, that's true. They did.
That wasn't prophetic.
Yeah.
That was not prophetic at all.
So, I was just wondering what your guys' opinion is. We'll get to all the racing, but it is the championship week. I saw Denny Hamlin had a new commercial out. Have you guys seen that one that's been playing?
Yeah, let me elaborate on this a little bit. So one of my favorite things to do after I land on a Sunday night is to open my Domino's app and order a thin crust, pepperoni, banana peppers, a pepperoni and banana pepper thin crust pizza from Domino's.
Wow. And
by the time I drive from the airport to the Domino's, it's ready. I pick it up and I eat it and love it. Ever since I started seeing these Denny Hamlin Domino's pizzas, I have to find a new pizza place to go to. Yeah. And I love Domino's so much, but unfortunately, Papa John's is going to have to do going on here on out, I guess. I mean,
that is kind of messed up. Do you guys remember a couple years ago when Bubba was trying so hard to get a Domino's sponsorship?
Pushing hard for it.
And now Denny swoops in and literally just steals the sponsorship from him?
Now, I just sat here thinking about it. What if that's a play for next year and they put Domino's on Bubba's car?
Maybe.
23 XI Jumpman Racing.
plus Domino's.
plus Domino's. I think
Jumpman.
I just thought that the timing was odd with 3-4 races left in the year. They do a full blown campaign ad with Danny Hamlin in his PJs. Danny Hamlin.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So if we're in corporate America like Lauren, and we're going to 17 meetings a day, and we have Chase Elliott, and he's running for a championship, don't you put a commercial out being like, our driver's a championship contender? Like, there was no other commercials for any of the other guys. I didn't see a Brad commercial.
There was a lot of print ads.
Chase.
Yeah, there was a lot of print ads, I think, and there was a cool one with Jimmie Johnson. Chevy pulled out. I think it was in the New York Times maybe. They had all just a bunch of quotes, and like it was one of those like abstract designs that kind of like shows Jimmie Johnson.
Face,
yeah, so that was really cool.
I would just like to see a little promo going on for like, yo, look at this. Look at our guy. He's going for number 2. Good luck, Joey Logano. Pennzoil's proud of you, you know?
Well, unfortunately, you're not in the marketing department at Ford.
But I'm going to be.
Shell.
I'm going to fix everything. Hey, Lauren.
Yeah.
Lauren and I were there together, Corey. We haven't seen each other since
before all this
COVID in real life. And I got to say, it didn't feel normal, did it, Lauren?
No, it did not feel normal.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
have you guys grown apart?
Well, no, I mean, Daryl and I were fine. We embraced.
Oh.
We hugged.
COVID.
But,
nope.
I don't know.
We don't care about that, do we, Lauren?
No. We were way over it. I don't know. I didn't know if it felt weird because I hadn't been at a race since March.
Probably that.
Or if it was just weird.
Seeing people.
Weird.
I got my results yesterday, Lauren.
Daryl, I need to talk to you about that. I kind of want for shits and gigs to go get it. So.
I got tested yesterday, Corey. Negative. I'm just knocking this COVID out of the park.
Good job, Daryl. Thank you for your service.
My question was, with all these 3 drivers, you know, there's a lot of hype around the playoffs, but to Corey's point, I didn't even think we would be here. I really didn't think we would get to a championship race this year. So hats off to NASCAR. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I think we definitely have to give NASCAR a shout out for jumping through all the hoops they did, get all the races, all 36 scheduled races in. It was a feat, and a lot of people gave a lot and were very flexible. So thank you for all the racetracks, all the networks, and NASCAR for making it happen and continuing to keep us employed.
Did you feel so safe this weekend?
Well, Corey, I was in an outdoor area, so that was already my first lucky thing that happened, because it was an outdoor private party set up for the 4 sponsors, right? Geico, Xfinity, Busch.
Oh.
Who's the other one? Coke? Yeah, Coke. And then also for the families of the respective playoff contenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Moffats, the Creeds, each night they got to all hang out and watch the race.
Out of turn 2
and then
there.
whoever won got to come and party there at night.
Yeah. The turn 2 setup?
Turn 3.
No. Was it turn 3? I thought that setup was out of turn 2 there.
No, it's right over right under the tunnel.
Under the what?
Turn 3.
But
no,
it was so we got to party with everybody. And Lauren was there.
Maybe it is.
Turn 2.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know anything about race.
So I'll say, we got to watch the final with the families, which, if you can imagine, they're all sitting around these little campfires, Corey, together, sort of. And there's these big screens. So they could be in a motor coach somewhere, but they're not. They're all sitting there. Mm-hmm. So you have Zane Smith's girlfriend's family, and they're all there. And then you have they're all watching together, so you got to see the heartbreak in real time, because one little group explodes and the other 3
just
head down and just walk down.
And I could imagine when that caution came out for Brett Moffitt with 2 to go, he's leading by a straightaway. The feeling in your gut he was going to win. No question about it. Grant Enfinger was second on a little bit newer tires, but he wasn't going to catch him. Brett was going to win his 2nd championship in the last 3 years, but an ill-timed caution with a couple lap trucks spoiled that. And so this is what I didn't understand, though. If those guys are scanning, if Brett Moffitt's crew are scanning the other 3 competitors, and the other 2 guys that are behind you are talking about pitting, I don't see why you don't pit with them, because realistically, you're only racing 4 guys. You're not racing the field. And you're really not even racing to win. You're only racing to beat those other 3 guys. So if the other 2 guys are, and you knew the 98 was out of tires, if the other 2 guys are talking about coming down pit road, you come down with them, because you got to be tire for tire with a 1-lap, 2-lap shootout. And as we saw, tires were dominant. Sheldon Creed had a unbelievable restart on the bottom, drove past about 8 trucks in one corner, squirted out, and won the race. That was exciting.
Squirted right out.
Squirted right out. Sheldon Creed, he's a gasser. I don't know. He's coming back to GMS next year, so obviously he'll be another championship contender, looking for 2 straight. That was an exciting race.
But he always looks like he just came out of the woods setting a bear trap. You know what I mean? Like, he just has that look of like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I just hiked it in. I hiked it in over there.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch that bear again.
Yeah, he is. He's from California. He grew up racing trophy trucks, and kind of the same kind of the same path that Jimmie Johnson did. Very similar. You know, he did the stadium trucks that Robbie Gordon has at that series, and then he came the ARCA pathway and run some trucks, and he's won. He was last year's ARCA series champion, this year's truck series champion. So hey,
keep it going.
Keep her going, big guy. Congrats to Sheldon Creed and GMS and that 2 team on their truck series championship. Fast forward.
Definitely exciting ending. Did you watch? Were you watching? Because I think you were at home, Corey, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
Did you watch the race at home?
Yeah.
Lauren and I watched.
I mean, part of my job is to talk about that stuff, so I do have to watch it to know about it. Because I know neither one of you 2 are going to watch it unless you're forced to.
Yeah,
your eyeballs are taped open.
I was literally standing in front of a screen. Did I see that?
And there was nothing else around you to watch.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it was a good ending, and so like that's a good way to start a championship weekend, right? It's an exciting ending. It's a fun ending.
I feel
That
like
was a good ending for race.
deliver.
They do, and that was my tweet. Don't steal my tweet. I said.
Oh, you said that?
The trucks always deliver. Now I'm gonna have an unpopular take here. I like the ending. I like the ending, regardless of who won the Cup Series race. I like that ending of a race over a green-white checkered pit strategy decision. That's an unpopular take.
That is unpopular. And
because
you're wrong.
it might not be as exciting, but I don't like it when a champion, after in the Truck Series case, 23 races, comes down to a re-rack for the last race, right? No, everybody's equal in points. And then, regardless of whatever baseball analogy, however many runs you've scored the first 8.5 innings, it doesn't matter. Caution comes out at the bottom of the 9th, and now the score is equal again. I don't like all the effort you've done for the entire race doesn't matter, because you come in, put 4 tires on, and through the luck of the draw, some lap truck or some guy on older tires holding you up, you lose the championship. In Brett Moffitt's case, that's what happened. And even in, I guess the 22 car was really strong on Saturday, so that didn't really matter, but it could have changed the outcome of that race. But I would rather see the strongest car all day, drive from the back, Chase Elliott, past the 2, past the 22, blow the doors off the 11, and win the championship. And not see a caution with 2 laps to go when he's leading by a straightaway. Come in, do we pit, do we not pit? And then him not win the championship, and some guys sneak it in that's been running 6th all day. Win the championship. I'm glad the best car, the last couple races of the season, won the championship. Now, to the traditionalists, quote unquote, who think that Kevin Harvick should be a champion, should have wrapped it up at Texas. Sorry for bad luck. We changed that 10 years ago. That's just what we're in now. Learn to like it, but
I don't think it's changed.
It's not changing. And like I said, unpopular opinion, they would want a green-white checkered in the last race of the year with the top 4 championship contenders in the top 2 rows and fighting it out. But that's not what I'd like to see in terms of crowning a champion of the entire season.
True.
But we saw Austin Cindric. He was pretty much dominant all day. Congratulations to him and the 22 Team Penske team. Austin Cindric will probably be running a couple part-time Cup Series races next year is what they announced. So that'll be cool to see him. I'm sure he's going to be strong on the road courses because he's a pretty avid road course racer. And then Sunday.
But we're on to
Sunday.
Sunday? That's it? You're done with Xfinity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is
But
there?
Xfinity was so
I wish
great.
that Chase Briscoe could have
Chase
had a better
Briscoe,
day.
yeah, he had a pretty tumultuous day. I mean, he's had a super strong season, but short tracks, you look back at his Loudon, you look back at his Richmond, he was not even close to the favorite for me. I mean, people thought that since he won so much, he was the favorite. If you look at the track design and what went into their wheelhouse as a team, it was not that. They were strong on the mile and a halves and the road courses and not the kind of short track,
He's
short
like
intermediate.
the Xfinity Series version of Martin Truex Jr.
Maybe so. I don't know.
I mean, Lauren's take.
It's
good.
helped.
I
It's helped
just-
when Martin Truex has driven the fastest car in the field those couple years, and he went from winning 1, maybe 0 races to winning 9.
Right.
I don't think he read the Race Car Driving for Dummies book over the offseason. He was driving a pretty good hot rod there for Furniture Row a couple years.
But we don't feel
Alexa.
that bad for Chase Briscoe because he's going to drive a cup.
Yeah, he's going to be driving the 14 car for Stewart Haas Racing. I think, does he make the chase? I don't know.
I don't know.
We need to
I
have
have
some
things
over-under
to
bets.
say, Corey.
All right, let me hear it.
First of all,
Get ready
thank you
for the
to
cold
Alexa.
takes.
Alexa wants to let us know that there was an ad for the championship on the Dax Shepard podcast, Armchair Expert.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There was a couple like obscure places. Oh, I was watching Southern Charm on Bravo on Thursday night in my hotel room, and there was an
Commercial?
ad for the
Really?
for the championship race, which it makes sense because I think NBC owns.
Maybe they need to
Bravo,
slide
but-
like Joe Rogan a couple bucks.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, but aside from that,
Because more
why
people
are you
listen to Joe
trying
Rogan
to
than
go
watch the
past
race?
the Xfinity race? That ending was spectacular, and you're like, Noah
Was it?
Gragson was up in the mix. People were trying to. There was a whole mess going on at
But
the
Noah
end there.
Gragson, yeah, he wasn't contended for a championship. So I mean, he obviously was
blew it.
trying to win. He
Yeah, but
blew
he
it at
tried to
Texas.
keep that lane plugged up. That was so exciting, and
It
Austin
was.
drove his tail off.
He did. And he made a last lap pass, which even though all he had to do was finish in front of Justin Allgaier, which Justin was on old tires. So
Boy, and that guy.
man, that
He can't win a
he's like
championship.
the Mark Martin of the Xfinity series.
That blows.
Man. And I even
Yeah,
thought that
but-
he was going to be a favorite at Phoenix because he does not get around Homestead well at all. So nobody was probably happier to see the finale move from Homestead to Phoenix than Justin Allgaier. And unfortunately, it didn't go his way.
I'm just surprised you don't have more to say. Austin Cindric put on a clinic. That was textbook perfection out of that kid, and he should have been going to Cup. So everybody's
Daryl.
watching him win a championship. Going,
Yeah, and I don't disagree, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but that car was so dominant all day. You can look like a hero because your car is infinitely faster than everybody but the top 2 or 3 cars.
That's the Chase Elliott story, which we're about to get to. But Austin still was there when it counted. And
Actually,
do you think
the
that the
two-car
pit
had
strategy? Do you think the
two-car.
pit strategy from the night before helped the ending for the Xfinity race?
It did. So I mean, you saw the movie the night before, what to do and what not to do, and you plug that movie right back in. What do? You got to come and take tires. And Justin Allgaier didn't have a set of tires. They were on a different strategy, which that's another point of contention I have with the Xfinity series, the limited amount of tires. It's almost every other week it comes down to a caution coming out, whether or not you get it on who wins a race, because people sometimes lay a set of tires and wait to put them on till later in the race, and it's a gamble if you put them on early. I don't love that the Xfinity series is on. They need them to get like one more set of tires because it always comes down to whoever has a set of tires left who didn't put them on. I get that strategy, but you hate to see it come down to a caution and a championship contender not having a set of tires left. But I get it. That's part of the deal.
Well, Austin showed up after his championship, right?
I like Austin. He's a good kid.
He showed up, and we hung out with him and his mom and his dad, and he just ate some
loves
food.
his parents. He
Yeah,
was
they were
really
great.
giving him a big hug. You know, it was really cute.
They all
Nice.
just sat there
Yeah.
and had a couple of beverages, and they're just he was just so low key. And I said, "Hey, well, congratulations." He's like, "Thanks."
Did they make
And his
the
crew
driver
was there,
stay in
and
their fire
everyone was
suit?
happy.
Did they make the
What's
driver
that?
stay in the fire suit?
No, he was just in like his little coat, his little
Okay.
zip up,
All right.
fleece, and you
Doing
wouldn't
his
have
thing.
known that he won a championship an hour before. He was super low key, and his mom was telling us that he plays the tuba. Did you know he's a tuba player?
He looks
That
like a
sounds
tuba
about
player.
right. Yeah.
So apparently he's a tuba player, and he's very into cooking, and he owns a wok, which I thought Lauren might find interesting.
Wow. He's
Dang.
He's got a wok,
multi-talented.
and
We
I'm
need
thinking
to.
this is a champion right here. And I said, "Hey, you're a champion now," and he's like, "Yeah, yeah,
The
it's
guy's a
great. I'm
walk
so excited
master.
about that."
I would
So he was happy.
definitely get a Philly cheesesteak from Austin Cindric's walk.
I thought he
Uh,
drove great. I thought it was a great ending. So then now we can get to your cup
Speaking
day.
of
But
daddy issues.
no,
wait, sorry.
that's what I thought. What a nice. And I told his mother.
Right.
His mother came up, Lauren, and she said, "Thank you for always being so nice to him." And
He
yeah,
said that to you?
yeah. And
Oh,
I was
that's
like, "What?"
shocking.
She's like, "You've always been really good to him in interviews, and I appreciate it." And I said, "Oh well, full disclosure, you got a good kid. He's a nice kid. He's pretty easy to like.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all like that."
Right.
Because the drinks are flowing. I said, "Trust me, they're not all like that. I work with this driver on a podcast. He
Yeah.
can't fit his head through the garage door."
He's
Awful.
Now, could we just point out that when there is a driver in a system with good people surrounding him, driving good race cars, that's what could be obtained, right? Because when Austin Cindric got into the Xfinity car a couple years ago, he did not look like he was going to be a championship caliber guy. But through him putting in work and being surrounded by the quality people at Team Penske and obviously driving those race cars, he has learned what to do, when to do it, learned the ebbs and flows, and he has grown into obviously a championship driver, but somebody who doesn't have very many weaknesses. When he had to start, there was very apparent that he had a lot of work to do. So I think that, when people are on social media thinking that they are a good observer on who's talented and who's not talented, you also have to take into consideration the system and the people that have been surrounding them and the cars that have been driving. So that goes to show
It's a total package.
it's a total package, and you can't do it. It's hard. It's just, I guess the learning curve is a lot less steep when you're surrounded by good people driving good cars, and that Austin Cindric is a great example of that. He learned really quick, and he went from being a guy that was essentially in the way in a really good car to being the guy who was driving through the field, carving him up to win a 2020 Xfinity Series championship. So, I think that there are a handful of guys that there's a lot of talented race car drivers out there in the world that will never get the opportunity to work with those caliber people or drive those caliber cars that might have the same ceiling, if not higher. But you'll never know. And that's just that's the way racing's always been. Dale Earnhardt said there's some guy in Iowa driving a street stock that could be a better driver than him, but never got a chance. So I think that, good on Austin Cindric for taking the tools that he's been afforded and utilizing those and growing himself and putting himself and making himself a really good race car driver. That's cool to see.
Thank you. That's what I would like. I would just like you to give him his due because he's a good kid.
And that's what I did. Right?
And the rumor is that Roger Penske was pulling that cell phone out pretty quick, going, "Matt, I need to talk to you Monday. Come on in."
I would not
need
answer
to have
that
a
phone
long
call.
talk.
Yeah, I would not answer that phone call.
Yeah. Poor guy.
They'll have that seat nice and warm for him to plug him in 22. But that also, the way they did it gave Matt a long time to start looking for rides. So they did him a favor by that. So it'd be nice to see that 21 car get that 100th win for Wood Brothers, though. I'd like to see that thing in victory lane.
Well,
next
I feel
year.
like Matt did a good job this. He
did.
He did a pretty
Made the
good job.
chase.
He might be the guy.
Was
that
in
Made the
contention at a
chase.
couple.
What's the chase?
The playoffs. Sorry.
playoff.
Now Chase
on.
owns the Chase.
Man, Sprint did a good job.
We're gonna
with that
rename
brand,
it next
didn't they?
year. We're renaming it next year to the Chase, to the awesome Chase from the same
The
place.
chase
playoffs.
for the chase for Chase's Cup.
Yep. And
Well, let's take a commercial
let's
break,
take a commercial
Corey.
break because we got Jimmie to talk about. I'm wearing the hat one final time for the one final time video or our Sunday Money.
Mm-hmm.
This is it.
This is it.
Did you see the Jimmie Johnson family video? Oh, tears.
Dude,
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
everything Jimmie Johnson this week had me in my feelings.
So
Right.
good. Well, we'll take a commercial break so that our sponsors are happy. And then we'll come back and Corey can tell us all about how he ran 30th again.
Not even.
Actually, it was
I was running 19 till we
36.
broke. Literally
You
drove
were
the
running
19th.
ninth because people were pitting. But anyways, we'll be back after this
19th,
commercial break.
dick.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-thru coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom-flavored infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. You can also order our signature Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com or visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
And we're back. We're back from commercial break. Boy, I'm sure I'm going to miss these hangout sessions, guys.
Yeah.
My friend Rob, I saw my friend Rob yesterday. He listens to every episode, and he said,
Was that the one
Why
you were on the
is it-
couch with?
no, that was Steven,
That
but
was
he says
Steven.
hello.
How many guys you hang out with, man?
Rob, I saw Rob and his wife yesterday, and he loves the podcast, and he said, how come it's not the most important thing Corey does? Like, why doesn't he just go all in on this? Because not any other drivers have a podcast, much less a good podcast. He actually has a podcast. Why wouldn't he just focus so hard on this? Because it basically is like his own PR machine. And I was like, it's a good question. But drivers sit
What
at
are
home
you
a lot.
talking about, Daryl?
Well,
What do you
name
mean
another
he
driver
only
that has a
focuses
podcast.
on this?
Name another driver that has a podcast, Lauren.
Well,
Clint Boyer.
he did.
No, he doesn't.
I know.
That lasted 6 episodes.
I know. I know.
Name another driver that has a
There
podcast.
isn't one, Daryl.
Well, I mean,
Get
Ryan
to your
Blaney
point.
used to.
Yeah, well,
I just
true.
don't understand where you're going.
Yeah, what
Him
is-
focusing on it. What does that mean?
What do you want me to send you more topics throughout the week?
No, he was just saying like it seems like this would be something that Corey would like make a huge priority for himself.
I
because
think that
it's such a unique situation.
This seems like
Maybe
something
he's
you
sick
made
of
up.
dealing with you.
Me?
This sounds like something you derived in your head because I don't talk about it
that you're
enough.
saying Mark said.
Yeah.
He literally asked me yesterday.
My
He's
buddy
like, "What?"
says,
No, he asked me yesterday. He's like, I'm just so surprised that it's not like, Corey doesn't do a big push to like.
Don't you think it would be so annoying if all Corey did on here was like promote whatever bullshit he's got going on?
yeah.
I think that would like suck. I really would not want anything to do with it if all Corey did was come on here and talk about himself.
Yeah.
Guess so.
Or when
That
I
makes
wasn't
sense.
on here, I talked about being on here,
Yeah.
right? Like, hey, go check out Sunday Money.
Right.
And then when I'm here, I'm sitting there talking about my co-host, talking about why I'm not talking about Sunday Money even more.
Right. I mean, I'll
That
be
was-
honest. Considering the amount of effort that we put into this, I feel like we've done pretty good.
I think we've done pretty good.
I mean,
was telling
I don't know how many people listen to this anymore, but
like 7.
I think that was my friend's point. He was like, I'm surprised he hasn't put more effort in.
well,
And
I
was
guess
like,
maybe
"He's
it's
busy."
like when you don't. That's how I always was in school. I didn't have to try that hard to be like an average student. So why would I I didn't try at all to be an average student. So why would I put in like tons of effort
To be
to
an A
make an
student.
A student if I can make
a B,
B,
a
right,
B, and
yeah.
just be normal.
why would I do that? You know?
I guess is no work ethic. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
Never
I
heard
see
of
what
Well,
you're
there's
saying,
also
maybe.
things
Never
that
heard of it.
actually pay my bills, which are driving race cars. I do actually focus on that. And
I think, yeah, you get paid for that, right? No matter
I do
if you
get-
do good or bad.
I do get paid for that, regardless if we break something. Again, unfortunately, so this was actually probably one of our strongest races of the year. Now, I know Daryl you were giving me shit about it before the commercial break, but we legitimately drove from 28th or 9th to past Tyler Reddick, and we were in front of the Roush cars, and we were running 19th, and we broke a rear gear. So that
Oh,
made
boy.
it. That made it 1 out of every 3 races this year. We
At least
broke
it
something.
wasn't a fuel pump.
A fuel pump. Now that would have been a perfect cap off to the season, but it only happens. Something only happens whenever we're running good. Like it never happens when we're running 28th, 9th, like where we
Right.
really should be. The days we're having a good driving car and we're, at a shorter track where you can make up a little bit difference behind the wheel, and we were on pace for a top 15, 18 day, and broke again. So that was just kind of the moral of the story for 2020 of our season. Unfortunately, we broke 1 out of every 3 races, which we left, give or take, 80 or 90 points off the table. So that's a little bit frustrating, but onwards and upwards. I'm leaving here today and going to sign a contract. By the time you guys are listening to it, we'll probably have something to announce next week. So I'm not announcing it today.
Oh God.
Why don't you just, Corey, just announce it, and then
The suspense.
No.
and then if it leaks, like we can leave it in, and if it doesn't leak, Alexa can take it out.
I think that sounds like a bad idea.
That sounds like a bad idea because we've had stuff leak on this show. That's you mentioned earlier, and the good part and the bad part, Daryl, is you said that we have hangout sessions. We legitimately just are an hour and 15, hour and a half of just friends just BSing about racing, and that's caused me to put my foot in my mouth sometimes because I don't realize that like 10,000 people listen to this thing.
Right. Yeah, Corey needs to only talk about racing because when he talks about anything other than racing,
if I do any sort of impersonations, if I say anything about anything else, I usually stick my foot right in my mouth. So,
Corey,
yes.
You literally have nobody in your life that can even get you in trouble. I don't understand what you're even talking about.
The only person that get me in trouble is me, and that's the bad part.
In trouble?
I don't worry about outside forces. I worry about something slipping up.
You just don't want to hear Kelly bitch about it over smoothies.
No, I could
That's
care
all
less.
that
I
is.
could handle her. I can. When I say things when I'm not thinking, usually is when I regret saying things. But,
yeah, and I don't want to have any part of that because that gave me way too much anxiety this summer.
Yeah, well.
Did it really, Lauren?
I mean,
did you really care?
Truly, I was ready to end it right in
Why?
July or whenever we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was done. I don't want to have anything to do with ending someone's career.
Oh, you're talking about when Corey almost
Worry about myself.
Well,
Yeah, that was
wasn't
a
our
tough.
fault.
No.
No, it was.
And we could
Moving
talk
on.
about that. We can actually talk about that like I don't know.
Now
Later.
That's Archie being Archie. Archie's just Archie.
No.
You know?
Well, and yeah,
Maybe that's why everything broke this year. Because Archie
Yeah.
knew he was about to cash
Cash
a
out.
big old check.
see you later.
I mean, I do
Sorry,
not blame him
Archie's-
one bit.
See ya.
You ain't gonna miss that, are you, Corey?
It was a tough season. It was a tough year, on track and off track, but it was a good stepping stone. We were able to continue to grow our partners. I mean,
They were able to make Go Fast Racing great again.
I mean, we actually
Hey, is
scored
Ryan
the
Ellis
same
going
amount
to
of
Go
points
Fast?
this year. What?
Is Ryan Ellis gonna drive for Go Fast?
No.
No.
I think he was going to, and then something happened where he's not going to.
That's too bad.
That is too bad. I'd like to see Ryan Ellis get a couple.
Yeah.
Get a
He's going to
couple
race,
cup
it
races.
looks like, next year.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Shout out to Ryan Ellis.
Well, Lauren and I watched the race in that little chalet I told you about, and we went in the private area with all the NASCAR people, and we had to sit there when your car broke again, and everybody kind of looked over at us
They were
as
like,
if it was
"Ugh,
our
How embarrassing.
it was our friend,
Yeah.
our brother,
Yeah.
our teammate, because we're like, oh, and they're like,
Oh.
Well, there's nothing worse than when you break something, like when you're running good, you break, and then they come in and fix it. Like, there's no points to be gained or lost, really. I mean, we're going to finish second to last regardless. We know we're going to finish in points, but we have to go out and run around the last 50 laps essentially in the way. We weren't really in the way, but like, we're one right front tire going down to changing the entire outcome of the season. So, I think something ended up happening. Felt the same. I don't know, the way the car was driving. It was driving crappy. So I pulled it in. And I said, guys, I'm not gonna be that guy to mess up somebody's year, regardless of who it is. So
I'm done.
packed it up. I'm done. I'll see y'all at Daytona next year with something faster. It won't break
that's
a
it,
third
huh?
of the
You
time.
pulled it, you gave it up.
That's it. Grab my bag, moving out.
Mm.
I think it's time
Well-
to talk about the real
The real champion.
Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Careful.
I
I'm
was-
about to start crying.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it was. I even said before the race, they were doing. He was on the stage and he had Channy and his girls there, and they were passing out these hats, and like, it was certainly a good send off for one of the greatest drivers of all time. And I started right behind him, actually. Gave him a little love tap. And that was the last time I saw him. He drove to the front. I couldn't quite keep up with him as fast as he was going. And his one final time. Now, he kind of left the door open for like, yeah, I might come back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's coming back to NASCAR racing. I think
Ever?
he's done. Nope, I think he's done. I mean, one final time, like final is like final. Now, that's for NASCAR. Now, his IndyCar stuff, he's going to do that, and he's going to do some other stuff, but I don't think you will see Jimmie Johnson behind the wheel of a Cup car. I might be wrong, but I doubt it.
I mean, he didn't do great this year when he had a team around him that he
Was full-time.
full time. He was connected with.
Yeah. And
So I can't imagine hopping back in a car one time. He thinks he's gonna
light the world on fire.
right. I mean, you come back to what? Finish 23rd? No,
Who?
thank you.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Right, you go to like Martinsville and he runs in 19th and all
Wow,
the
that
cameras
was
on.
so fun.
Yeah, Jimmy's not about that. Not like that's just not him. So it was cool to see him get a top 5 his last race.
Yeah, I wish he could have been doing that all year long.
I know it. He'd have been up there hunting for the win, but that 9 car was strong. Allen had that thing tuned up. Obviously, they were pushing the limits through tech because they got popped after going twice through inspection and failing. They had to start in the back. That just goes to show, those guys are getting tens of thousands of an inch, whether it be skew or body or just every single area of those cars was pushed to the limit. And you might as well try to bring 10 gray area pieces on your car through tech and have to fix 3 and still have those 7. I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
Mm-hmm.
You instead of bringing 2 gray area things and having to change 2 gray area things. So
Right.
That's certainly the game that those guys are playing through tech, and they got popped, but in the end, it did not matter. He drove through the field, took the lead. The only person that had something for him was that 2 car, and he could not keep his track position. They didn't have great pit stops on pit road, and in that last run of the day, the 2 car was the fastest car on the racetrack. Who knows how much Chase was saving because he had a straightaway lead, but the 2 was coming, and who knows. That last caution, or a last caution, certainly could have re-racked it and shaked it up, but it was good for the sport, in my opinion, to see Awesome Chase from the same place, Dawsonville, Georgia.
It was
winning.
really a bummer, though, that those were the circumstances Chase Elliott won the
What do you mean?
with 9,000 people in the stands. And
It did.
Victory Lane was sad.
God, imagine how wild that place would have been if it was full capacity.
Well, that's like somebody said that would be like the equivalent of if Junior had ever won a championship.
Yes.
Like, I mean, people were loud in the stands.
Yeah.
9,000 of them were
Yeah.
loud.
Yes.
And he won. Imagine if, I don't know what the capacity of Phoenix Raceway is, but
I don't know what it is.
would have been a
65
lot.
maybe.
It would have been pretty crazy.
That would have been cool to see. And obviously they're under certain procedures. They can't do certain things. But the
Right.
Victory Lane and the trophy presentation was sad. It was sad.
Yeah. No spraying champagne everywhere. I
No.
kept waiting for confetti to shoot, which I guess on Sunday they did confetti, but
Yeah.
whatever. It just wasn't as exciting as a normal Victory Lane.
It wasn't. But at the end of the day, you still got the trophy.
Yep.
Still got the big paycheck. And you're still driving that car. So I sent in a text message, and Daryl had a Debbie Downer text back. I said, seeing Chase drive that car through Dawsonville, Georgia, with everybody outside waving on, being happy, was one of the coolest things I've seen.
Right.
And you replied, Daryl.
I don't remember what I said. What did I say? What did I say?
You said, what did you say? You said you don't get out much if that's the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Right.
Something like that along those lines. I'm saying in the context.
You would totally go out of your house and stand there and wait for him to drive by so you could wave, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yes,
Oh
I
my God.
would. Would you not? What would you do? Would you just sit on your couch and watch Real
Hey,
Housewives?
Chase, good job, man. Good job.
Yeah.
There he is.
Hear a
There
little
he
rev
is.
up. No.
Daryl, that's his hometown. That's where he lives. Those are his people. And
Mhm.
what other race car driver, you think Denny would have been doing that
Down the peninsula.
down the peninsula?
Is it down to Chesapeake Bay, Virginia?
Go
Where's he
to
from?
Chesterfield, Virginia. No, none of the rest of them have. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
As tight of hometown ties as he
right.
does.
They
Yeah.
don't. None of the rest of them still live where they grew up.
Right. Now that would be
That
a
was
dream.
cool.
That would be a dream to drive your championship winning car through. He obviously didn't drive the car that he just won with, but one that
Right.
looked like it. Like through Kannapolis, right? I was born and raised in Kannapolis. How cool would that be to just ride down Main Street,
Right past Dale
So
Senior.
cool.
right past him, do a donut around a statue while I'm
So
shedding
cool.
tears.
And the best news is they don't have
Daryl.
COVID there apparently, because I didn't see a single mask.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know
Georgia.
what's going on in
Yeah, Georgia
Johnsonville.
doesn't have COVID.
Yeah, they haven't been locked down. They're fine.
Yeah.
He was. Did you find it interesting? Chase was not into the mask wearing. Every other driver's got masks on in all these interviews. Even Jimmie.
Well, hey, it's the
I
last
know.
one. It's the
Yeah.
last one. So who
Worst
cares
case
if you
scenario, he
you
goes
get it?
home and has a cough or something.
Right, you got a little cough, you take a nap, and you sweat it out on the couch.
That
and you wake up.
Republican jumped out of his race car and just ran around the racetrack and hugged everybody. I didn't
Ugh.
see a mask on him the rest of the night, but that's just, whatever. He's the champ. He can do what he wants. He's young.
Yeah,
He's young. He'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
when I think
He has
that
a
is a
99.7% survival.
I think that
He's
there's a
fine.
thing though. If you are a Cup champion, you're immune from. Actually, that's fake. 'Cause Jimmie Johnson got COVID. If you're the current Cup champion, you are immune from COVID for at least 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the window you have to not get COVID. I think.
It was
think
a little
I read a-
awkward
I read a
'cause everybody
study.
was being super safe everywhere, but Chase was just, whatever. What
It's
is
the
he
last
going to
one.
do?
Chip it,
Fine.
man. Chip it. Congrats. Party it up.
I'm glad he enjoyed himself.
Oh, see, Lauren, did you watch the video of the hometown parade? Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I liked
The
thought
siren
it was
was
special.
wailing.
Yep.
I
It
do
was.
think we should point out NASCAR over the entire course of 2020, the numbers of TV numbers were only down 2%, where every other sport were down double digits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think NBA, NFL, they're down close to 30%.
Yeah,
Or
and
more
we
than
had a
that.
rained out Daytona 500.
We had rained out like every single race almost when we got back. It was crazy. So kudos to Fox and NBC for pushing our sport and continue to keep eyeballs on it where a lot of other sports couldn't do that. So onwards and uppers with NASCAR 2021. Let's do it.
Yeah.
What the heck else do we have to talk about here?
What
I don't know.
else
We
is
can
there?
kiss Chase's ass some more. You guys want to do that?
We could.
No, I'm done.
I mean, he's going to be taking all the awards this year. He's got the most popular driver. Now, he's definitely going to set. He's going to beat Daryl Jr.'s record on most popular driver. What did he win? 14 times maybe.
Yeah,
Dale
something
Jr.?
like that.
Chase is going to win it every single year of his career for the next 15 years.
Yeah, now he's
Just
a champion.
24 years old.
Yeah.
That's
So-
that's a youngster, Lauren.
You know,
24.
I didn't see a girlfriend or anything there though. His little model girlfriend. I don't know if maybe they're still together or what's going on. The ones that he was doing boomerang kissing videos with.
Yeah, with
That really
Ryan
softened him.
out west.
Yeah.
They were on vacation. I don't know.
No.
Maybe that's
No,
what
I-
focused them in a little bit.
Maybe.
I saw. I mean, we talked about it, Lauren. There was a long, 25-second embrace with mom,
Yes.
and a quick 0.25-second hug with dad. Complicated stuff though. Those when you have a dad that's a racer, Corey can tell you it's complicated. You're just happy to get a glance,
job, bud.
right, Corey?
Yeah. Well, and I've always kind of thought this and said this about Chase. I think Chase has always felt like he couldn't measure up to his dad's achievements in the sport. And that's why he was always he wouldn't ever get excited, right? Because he felt like even when he did good, if he was on a pole, if he won a race, it still wasn't enough. I think he's always felt like that because he's grown up and his dad was one of the best. I think now through this championship, it actually might let him realize, hey, like I'm
pretty good.
pretty good here. And he can allow himself to get excited and to appreciate his accomplishments a little bit more because now he felt like he's lived up to what the expectations were by the media, by the sport, by even his own dad, right? Because when you grow up watching that and you grow up, there is no Cup Series driver in the field. That might be a broad statement, but you can point to a lot of people that even in professional athletes as a whole, their parents or dads were tough on them, to push them, to get them to their ultimate potential. And, you know,
Are you talking about Randy?
talking about Randy, I'm talking about Tom Logano, I'm talking about Bill Elliott, I'm talking about Dave Blaney. You know, like all these guys pushed
Tough love.
tough love. Like they knew the amount of work, the amount of effort it takes to be a professional athlete. You know, Corey Seager played shortstop for the Dodgers. He went to our high school. His dad was tough on him. They were in the cage every day, batting practice. He was the World Series MVP. So you witness firsthand the sacrifice. Maybe you didn't get as many hugs from your dad as you want to, but at the end of the day, if you're putting fat paychecks in the bank the rest of your life because they push you to be what ultimately you're capable of being.
Right. Thanks, Dad.
I would rather that than a couple extra hugs and good
I
job,
think
son. I love you.
That's probably why I'm not a champion at anything, is because my dad's a soft. You know, that's
And
why
I'm not
I
sure-
didn't go on to
Now that
do
there's
whatever.
other dads that, you know, like support them, but I think there are more cases than not where, you know, the father was a tough pusher, and especially, you know, and racing is certainly no different than any other sport. You grow up watching your dad do it. That's what you want to do. But your dad also knows the amount of work, the amount of sacrifice it takes to get to that top level. So, good on Chase for living up to Bill Elliott's expectations, and I hope that he allows himself to really soak it in and appreciate the driver and the competitor and the brand that he's building for himself off the racetrack, because arguably his brand, it's not even arguable, his brand is bigger than Bill Elliott's ever was. He was the most popular driver for a lot of years, but Chase Elliott right now is the face of NASCAR. He's the face. Whether or not Daryl Mott wants to admit it, Chase is going to be the face for years to come.
Chase's face.
Chase's
from
face.
The awesome place.
Awesome Chase's face from the Dawsonville place is.
People
thing.
were very excited that he won, so I think that's a good thing for NASCAR, right? I mean,
think
people
it's
are
a good
hyped.
thing.
All right, we need to do a couple overruns. We actually need to catalog this, Daryl. Who
Wait,
wins
did
more?
you see that Jimmie Johnson did not do a burnout? They asked him to do a burnout, and he said, "Nope, this is Chase's moment." And instead, he did a back lap.
Did you expect anything else?
No.
How
I mean,
classy,
That's just
right?
the nicest guy in the world.
I've always thought that's a little corny when, like,
Yeah.
you know, the last somebody to finish, like, you know, in somebody else's case, like, you know, 12th
Right.
is his last race, and sitting there doing donuts. Like, let the
Right.
guy have his
His
5 minutes of
moment.
fame. Let the guy have his moment. So, as we've all known in the just the precedent Jimmy sets, you know that's how it was going to play out. Like, he wasn't going to sit there and do a burnout for 10 minutes and blow the black tires off of it and take away from Chase's moment. Perfect Jimmy fashion. Gets a good wave. Gives everybody high fives. Luckily, he was wearing gloves because that's COVID problem. If anybody had COVID, he was clapping hands with everybody on the down pit road. And takes his gloves off, hugs his wife and kids, and sails off into the sunset.
He's done.
Into Laguna Seca 2 days later, tests his IndyCar. He lives a life, man. Jimmy's living a life. Good for him.
Living the life.
Oh boy, that was good stuff.
Yep.
Do we take a break and then come back and do whatever it is that Corey wants?
Yeah. We got to give some clutch performers.
Yeah.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
And we're back to a tweet from Forbes Sports, Daryl. I read during the break.
Oh,
NASCAR, its drivers and teams combined to generate $41 million in sponsorship value via social media this season. A large part of it's thanks to aggressive strategies by Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, plus 700 new Bubba Wallace followers, and a podcast called Sunday Money. I just added that on the back end, so that wasn't true. But
That's amazing.
$41 million on social media value, that's a lot.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't mention us. We're good for at least 50 grand, right?
Least.
At least.
At least. Especially, O'Reilly's. They got alternators flying off the shelf after all the O'Reilly review section reads.
My in-laws, they had to get something fixed. They needed something on the car, maybe new batteries.
Mm-hmm.
They went to O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Of course they did.
And my sweet mother-in-law asked them, "Have you guys ever heard of the Sunday Money podcast?"
And they said, absolutely we have.
We have no idea what you're talking about, ma'am. Anyways.
Thanks to your mother-in-law.
They should have a
Thanks,
stand-up of
Ellen.
Lauren in the store.
We
should.
need some stand-ups with like rip-off coupons or something.
Yeah. Well,
Get
maybe
a
if for
free
some
air
reason
freshener.
we decide to hang out again next. Probably not.
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold.
I told Twitter that I would announce where you're driving if you wouldn't, Corey, and I am a man of my word.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
So I don't know what you want to do about this, but I can't very well lie to the entire world just for your sake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you can lie to your 300 Twitter followers. I don't think they're going to be too upset with you.
5,000, Corey.
Oh.
5,000.
How many of those are bots?
Well, Daryl bought about
4,000.
3,500 of them, but
So if you guys want to know where Corey is racing next year, am I allowed to say? I'm not
you
allowed
have
to say.
do.
No.
Corey,
gonna do one next
who's going to
week.
get mad at you?
Daryl, why did you just tweet 50 seconds ago when we've been on our podcast? You were clearly not committed to what we're doing.
Right. Tell your friend
I-
that you're the one that's not committed, not me. I'm the one putting my blood, sweat, and tears into this.
He just saw the potential that this could have on your career, and he was
Bless
like,
you.
I'm surprised he's
Sorry,
not more
just
into it. And I
COVID
was like,
everywhere.
well, All right, listen, Corey is going to be racing next year for exactly who you think he's racing for. That's all I'll say. How about
Yep.
that? Is that fair?
How about this? It'll be a new number. It'll be a new team, and the cars will be considerably better than what the expectations are. So,
It's
It's gonna
exactly what you think, kids.
it's gonna be
It's
gonna be killer. Now, tune in next week, and I'll fill you in with the deets.
Is that
Wow.
fair? Can I
We
just
have
say
to
it's
do this
exactly what you
again?
think?
No, you don't have to do it again. I can come back and do a monologue,
I think we might need to just sit Corey down here. Next
like
week.
Howard Stern style.
Corey, why don't we just record it after this one, and then they can just sit on it for a week?
Because there might be some talking points that I don't know about that they might want me to talk about.
See, kids, it's the end of the season, and the deal is still not done. This is how stressful it is to be a race car driver.
It really is. But those deals take a long time to work through. I mean, they're
Do you sign your own deals, or do you have a lawyer?
I have a lawyer look at the deal, but ultimately it's my John Hancock that's on the paperwork.
And you're like, I need to use LaJoy seats.
Well, that's actually yes, I would like to use my dad's seats, but it also saves about, if I bring 5 seats, $6,000 a piece, so $30,000 worth of seats that the team doesn't have to buy. So that's obviously
Corey's like,
helping out.
Corey's dad's like, you're not getting a Christmas present this year, son.
If
you
I don't,
get
if I had carbon
seats.
seat, yeah.
And then you have to also pay for your own uniform and helmet and gloves, right?
Usually the fire suits are obviously sponsor specific, so a fire suit is into a sponsorship deal,
Uh-huh.
and I don't have to pay for those. Usually I like a specific brand of shoes and helmet, so I'll just go get those because I got a pretty good deal with Bell and Off-Axis Paint and the shoe supplier.
Okay. Well, we're excited
See,
for you.
these are the
So-
things that I feel like people like to listen to. Maybe we can talk about all these things next week
Yeah,
when you announce your deal, because
Like
we're not
what-
going to have
like-
any racing to talk about.
yeah, like what a deal looks like.
Yeah, all the things. And then he can tell us like how much money he's going to
Right.
be making
Yeah.
and
All that good
like
stuff.
where he's taking us out to dinner.
Right.
Corey doesn't hang out with anybody that can't do something for him. Lauren, haven't
That's
you
so
figured
true,
that
That
out
is
yet?
Daryl.
bullshit.
Have you not figured that out
Shut
yet, Lauren?
up. What is that supposed to mean?
Corey, you want to come over? I'm having a hard week. No. Joey Logano text. You want to walk the babies? Yep, I'll be right there.
Well, yeah,
And they walk
he
their little
lives
strollers through the
3 minutes
neighborhood
from me.
So everybody in Huntersville can see them together. I know your type,
And you,
Corey.
how many times have you called me and said you were having a hard time? You want to hang out? 0, because I would be
Never
there for
even
you.
asked,
I'd be a
Tom, so I
shoulder
haven't
for you to
left my
cry
house
on.
in a year. You
You
never
could
even
leave
checked on me.
mascara on my shoulder all you wanted to, Daryl. That's how good of a friend I am to you.
Guess
Oh,
where we're
boy.
going this weekend, kids?
Where you going?
New York
New
City?
York.
No,
Sounds
you-
good.
like-
Tell Andrew Cuomo to kiss my ass.
like for good?
Or-
Are you just
Well,
going
we're
there for
gonna go.
good?
We're gonna go see what's doing over there. We're gonna go take a look around, see what it's like.
I bet your rent's a little bit cheaper now than it was when you were looking the first time.
So you remember the building that I like was gonna be living in?
No.
Mhm.
Well, 5 months free rent, and it's cheaper than it was.
What's rent up there for like a studio, 1 bedroom?
No, not a studio. A 1 bedroom was like 2,300 a month.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But now they've reduced it, and it's 5 months free rent.
it's
Where's it at?
perfect.
Where's the apartment at?
Mm-hmm.
Astoria, Queens.
Okay.
So yeah, isn't that crazy? 5 months free. That's like a half a year. Who knows where we'll be by then? Corey might be a superstar.
Could be.
He might.
Could
Might be
The-
winning races.
The ceiling
6
is
months
high.
from now.
Well, we
Seeing
have
as
to
how-
So we're
announce
just
our
gonna go
clutch
look around the
performer
city
of
and
the
see
week.
what it's really like, during quarantine, and see.
I like it.
and
Pack
get a
your
haircut.
masks.
Because it's not going to change. If anything, it's going to get more locked down, and less people are going to continue to die. But
Get the Rona.
like, what are we doing
Well, that's
here?
what Kayla was saying. She's like, if there's less people, it's gonna be less crowded. Like, this is a good time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
I
need
mean,
it.
it's-
They need somebody to stimulate their economy, so it's good if you go up there and.
Yeah, because everybody's
We're
trying
gonna
to
go
get
spend
out.
your dollars.
Everybody's trying to
money.
get out.
Yep.
All right, let's do some clutch performer and your Sunday Riley auto review.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Sunday Riley's a skincare product. I meant Sunday Money.
It is.
being that it was championship weekend at Phoenix, we had 3 clutch performers. Actually, we had 4.
We had a lot.
We had 4 clutch performers. We can't forget to give love to the NASCAR ARCA West Series champion, Jesse Love. He's
Jesse
15 years
Love.
old. I don't even know if I can drive a car when I was 15. That kid won a Canon West Series championship. He's in the TRD system, so congrats to Jesse Love winning that ARCA West Series championship. And then obviously Sheldon Creed winning the Truck Series championship, the NASCAR Gander Series, whatever, in Gotts.
In Gratz.
In
This
Gratz.
year.
And they went back to Camping World next year.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels right.
That's what it should be. The
Yeah.
Camping World Truck Series.
It just feels right.
Never change.
If anything, it needs to go back to Craftsman. I mean, it's still a Craftsman truck in my mind. Throw a toolbox on the roof of that thing when they win. And then Austin Cindric winning the Busch Series championship,
Or the Xfinity Series.
or the Xfinity Series, or the Nationwide Series championship, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And Clyde Elliott.
Brat.
Clyde Elliott winning a NAS Cup championship. So Clyde, Austin, Sheldon, and Jesse Love, they are your performers, Clutch Coffee performers of the week. Big performers.
Huge.
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 So the Clutch Performer of the Week is brought to you by Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. You can order Clutch Coffee Beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com. Sorry. Had
was
some
good
Clutch
stuff.
Coffee. I had some Clutch Coffee this morning, actually.
Wow. That's why you're so peppy.
That is why I'm so peppy. Daryl did not have Clutch Coffee.
It is a little early. I think we do better when we start a little later, don't you think?
Yes, my brain doesn't work until about 9-ish.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that it's pouring outside and I kept getting detoured because of road flooding.
Roads were flooded like crazy this morning. So everybody drive careful today. I can't help but continue to stare in the background of Daryl's screen with those biscotti cookies stacked ever so perfect.
That way.
Right there.
What are those? Like Oreos? What do you got?
Those are the Milanos, the Italian cookies.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Do
then
you eat them, or they're just for look at this point?
those are decorative.
Oh, okay.
Those are decorative cookies.
Oh, okay.
Those are decorative cookies to look nice. So no, you can't eat them. I was told I wasn't allowed to have them.
Yeah.
Kayla
Well, it's
said
time
no.
for our favorite part of the show,
Yeah.
There's some
So-
great ones, guys.
The O'Reilly
the
review
O'Reilly
section.
reviews.
Mhm.
Let's hear it.
Daryl, do you want to start us off?
Yes, please.
Sure. B. Smith, Sunday Money, the only podcast where you hear where every driver is racing except for the host. Thanks for your service.
Say that. Read that again.
Sunday Money, the only podcast where you hear where every other driver is racing except for the host. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Tune in next week. B.
Why-
Smith.
And
You don't count the chickens before they hatch, and until you sign your name on a piece of paper, why would I announce it? And those deals take a long time to work through. Like Kyle Larson, they didn't just whip it up in a like since since that moment, and actually we can go back to talk about Kyle Larson.
I bet Kyle Larson got signed in like June 1st.
The deal was done. The deal was, I mean, it took, a couple months to do the deal because you're hashing out all the deets. But as soon as it happened, Rick reached out to Larson. A, because he was wanting to make sure he was okay. And B, he was like, ooh, I'm going to get this guy way cheaper than I was going to have to pay him here in 6 months. So it worked out for him, but I'm sure a deal like that didn't get done. I mean, it's been a month since we verbally agreed to do a deal until time to put name to paper. And that's general.
Yeah,
Or
and
he
now
had
he's
to
going to
get
let
his rider in.
dirt race.
Huh?
He's going to let him dirt race, right?
I mean, that's kind of what fills Larson's cup anyways. So if you tell him not to do that, he's going to be a little bit checked out anyway. So you got to let that guy go, gas it up, and cross your fingers and hope he doesn't flip out of the ballpark.
Casey Kane is calling. He'd like to have his dirt races back. Sure would have been nice, Rick.
He got to race dirt.
Yeah, he raced.
Come
a
on
little
now.
bit.
Rick never lets anybody do anything. I thought that was part of the contract. You're not allowed to do some of that stuff.
Well, when you got a guy like Kyle Larson his brand was made and his career was resurrected because of dirt racing, you can't take that away from him. You know what I mean?
I think Rick has come around.
He said,
Yeah.
money talks. Let's
Well,
go, kid.
and imagine how much dirt racing Kyle Larson's going to be able to do. He's going to be racing in some podunk dirt track on a Saturday night, get in somebody's jet, maybe his, I don't know, and fly to the cup race the next day.
Yeah, let him
That's
cash a
gonna be
couple
fun.
checks first.
Yeah,
and
sell
maybe
some
he can get-
T-shirts. Kyle Larson's going to be having a lot of fun next year.
Are you
Okay.
beat the
Lauren,
hell
you
out
wanna
of
read one?
2020.
Yes, yeah, he had a pretty piss-poor 2020. But, I mean, he had a lot of fun on dirt, won a lot of races. Like, a lot of races.
Yeah, I'll read a review. It's called Last Review
No.
by Joe.
I want
Bork.
you to read the one that says Lauren's awesome.
Oh. Okay, Lauren is the best by Jay Fellenbaum. We'll wait to read the last review next week whenever
Since it's the last one.
we're going to do this all over again. Okay, Lauren is the best. As this podcast comes to an end, I really hope Lauren starts her own podcast. Whether
Hang
it's
on. What would be the theme of a podcast? Would you have Daryl
Here,
on it or
he
no?
tells us.
Okay.
He tells us what it should be.
Okay.
Whether it's chronicling pregnancy, talk about wetting your pants when you jump, or just not caring about NASCAR, she is why I have loved this podcast so much. Corey, good luck in the Spire car next year with Hendrick's support. Also, make the most of your few races in Junior's Xfinity car next year. Also, good luck with your new podcast at Dirty Mo Media. Daryl. Okay, period.
That guy seems to think he's got some insider knowledge.
I like that. Do I
That's what
really
I
talk
heard.
about peeing myself that
Did
much?
Daryl write that review?
It might be Daryl.
Does that say D-Mott? D-Mott is great.
Jay Fellenbaum.
Oh.
That could be a woman. I'm not sure.
5 stars.
Very
Don't
inconspicuous.
cancel. This podcast got my wife and I back together. Oh.
What? No.
From 18, Die God. Die God.
Ooh.
Scary.
Corey, you should read one. You gonna read one, or you just want to listen?
I don't have it up. I just like
Okay.
listening.
I think
Joe
that's really-
Broke. 5 stars, Lauren.
No, that's our one we're reading next week, Daryl. We have to
Oh,
save it because it says last review.
Okay. How
That'll
about
be
this
the
one?
end.
How about NASCAR Fan 32? You want to read that one?
Sure.
No, you go.
First of all,
Alrighty.
I'd like to say I love this podcast. I've listened for the entire season, and it's great. I'm very sad you are leaving, but I think you three should get together after all the crown jewel races, like the 500, the Coke 600, Bristol, and Indy. Then you can go away slowly and not just leave us like you do. I will have to listen to the Wooden Crate of Dreams. Thanks for the great podcast, and I will always root for you, Corey LaJoy. Oh, Corey, look at people are
Thanks.
so
That is so
sad.
nice.
man.
I don't think the Wooden Crate of Dreams is going to be in existence next year. I know we said
Bummer.
that last year, but they came back with a vengeance, and they got mad
But
at
not
us.
really.
Not really. But
They
came,
kind of
whatever.
barely did it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had drama with them in the beginning of the year. Remember that, Lauren?
Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
this year?
Yeah, I got some snippy text messages on the back end
Oh,
that they did not
shit.
appreciate.
How do I remember
Mhm.
that?
Yeah. I mean that was like 5 years ago at the start in January.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, guys.
Well, listen, Corey, you
It's been a
built
long
something
time.
here, and people are sad to see you go. So congratulations. Good job.
No, Daryl. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I will
Team
be
on
tuning
3.
in next week to see how you guys do.
Team.
You're
This is
Huh?
this is it. No. This is it. I
Yeah,
played the
this is it.
music.
Yep, Daryl's not coming back. Bye.
This is it. So this is our goodbye. This was not a very good podcast for our last podcast. I thought we were going to do more celebratory.
Maybe I should have put a little more effort into it.
Well, I mean, or any. Corey's just thinking about that pen. He's got to drive through the floods to get that pen.
Driving like Noah's Ark.
He's going to sign that deal. I'm Corey LaJoy. Hey, listen, thanks for a good year, guys. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So should we include you in our text messages next week when we decide to do this again, or
Or not?
I thought we agreed this was the last one. Why is this happening to me? Lauren.
Yeah, you're not getting paid for the one next week, so.
That wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, we're out of money, guys. We're out of Sunday money.
No more
Corey,
pennies
are
to
you
be
taking are you taking all our sponsors with you to your next show? Because I think
No.
Lauren and I should have a say in that.
No,
Yeah, so true.
no, those are MRN sponsors.
I need them to
I don't know.
pay me out.
Now,
I would listen to a Lauren show personally, though.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah.
I think you'd crush it on your own show.
definitely. I'm gonna do
Talk
it.
about pallets and
Keep tuning in.
talk about what you bought.
She's
in your
done
latest
with the pallet game, though, right? You gave that up, Lauren,
Yeah, I
right?
haven't done anything lately. That's not to say that it's not coming back, you know.
Holiday
Never know.
season.
You're gonna have a
Oh,
lot of stuff to talk about too on the Lauren Fox podcast next
Yeah,
year.
tons. There's always something going on in my life.
The Lauren Fox podcast. We can have your
Oh, it's-
sister on. We can have
Well,
Andrew
no, we can't call it
on.
Lauren. It's
Great.
the Lauren Fox Mormon podcast.
No, I've never. I'm folks.
She's never changing her name, Corey. She don't want to give
That is
Andrew
a true persona, you know.
Yeah.
Lauren Fox.
Yeah, Foxy lady.
Lauren Gorman just doesn't have this. Boy, we have really rambled. We've got to be done with it.
Thanks, guys.
Alexa's sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is
Hurry up.
neat." Yes. By the way, thank you to Alexa.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. You're great. Thanks for putting up with us.
MRN,
really-
NASCAR.
Dealt with us.
Thank you.
Who else do we need to thank? This is our credits. This is what I'm saying. You guys
Yeah.
aren't ready for the last one.
That's
Thank
why we're
you
going to
to-
do this again next week. We're going to be really prepared. Talk to you later, Daryl. Bye.
Thank you to NASCAR. Thank you to MRN. Thank you to Lauren Fox and Corey LaJoy. Thank you to Rob and Steven in Nashville.
Mhm.
Who else we got to thank? Thank you to Kelly for
Yeah.
getting Corey.
Andrew,
Yeah, we have to thank all of our spouses and
Yeah.
significant others
Wags.
for taking interest in this.
Yep, it's been real, guys. 2 whole years, guys. Congratulations.
Hard to believe.
My gosh. All right, well, hopefully Corey will let you know who he's driving for next week. Tune in, kids.